Last week was the IUBMB Trainee Initiative's first event, and it was awesome. We had amazing talks by Dr. David Baker and Brian Koepnick about protein folding, protein design, and the software FoldIT. Don't worry if you missed it, you can now stream the entire thing on YouTube, on the IUBMB Trainee Initiative's website or Instagram channel, so I'll provide links to those. And here's a little recap of what went down. And so we have almost an hour and a half of amazing content. So first we have the talk by David Baker, goes over some really cool stuff about design proteins, nano cages, deep networks, all sorts of really awesome stuff, followed by a Q&A. We're really grateful to Drs. Baker and Koepnick for doing this. So Koepnick was up next, and he walked us all through FoldIT. And the various ways that FoldIT has been used in the pandemic and other ways it can be used, current projects, as well as then an in-depth look at how you can get involved in trying out FoldIT. And speaking of which, they made a puzzle specifically for the IUBMB to help get people started. So let's take a look at that. So if you go to the FoldIT website, you can download for whatever computer software you need. And you can also, if you click on are you new to FoldIT, it'll give you instructions. When you open it after you download it, you're going to see something like this. And you'll have options to play online or play offline. If you have if you need to create an account, you haven't done this before, just click on create a new account. Or if you have an account already, then you can just log in. If you click on campaign, this is going to give you some beginner's puzzles that you can start with to learn along the way. It's going to teach you how this all works with these really simple puzzles. When you are ready to try something a little harder, you can go over to science puzzles. There's a lot of stuff you can do, but they made this puzzle for the IUBMB. This IUBMB beginner puzzle, coronavirus BA.1 variant. So they did this cool experiment where they're trying to design these small little proteins that could bind to the coronavirus spike protein. And then in this puzzle, you're going to look and see how mutations in the Omicron spike variant prevent this little drug that they designed from binding, and whether you can actually design a better version of it. So redesign this protein inhibitor so that it can bind to this BA.1 spike just as tightly as the other variants. And so there are various things that you can do, as well as using AlphaFold predictions to help predict how the redesign that you make to optimize all that biochemistry, interaction stuff, how it's actually predicted to fold up. And you can then do various things to try to increase your score and increase the affinity, so how tightly and how well this drug is going to bind to this protein. And this isn't like an actual antiviral that's in the clinics or anything, but it was part of this really cool citizen science initiative that FoldIT used in order to try to design drugs to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic. And so you can see these various places that there are things that you need to do. And if you watch all of the tutorials and do that sort of thing, you can understand how you're going to be able to fix them. And it's just so cool because you're seeing all of these various side chains of these amino acids, so of these protein letters sticking out, and you can see how they interact and how the various types of interactions, as well as the various types of clashes that can occur, and the things that you can do to try to optimize those clashes, remembering that it's actually not, we're not actually going in and fiddling around with the protein, but the protein is actually the reason why it folds and why it binds the way it does is because it has this unique combination of these amino acids. And you can see how they can complement one another or they can clash one another. And this leads to binding or not binding, binding in specific ways, folding in specific ways, all of this that lies at the heart of biochemistry and biology and how life works. Huge thanks to everyone who attended our first event, and ginormous thanks to Drs. David Baker and Brian Koepnick of the University of Washington in Seattle and Institute of Protein Design. And so we're very grateful that they gave us their time, as well as all of the people in the IUBMB Trainee Initiative who participated in helping planning, organize, and run this event, as well as all of you who attended. We had a really great audience, lots of questions, and it was just a fantastic first event, and stay tuned for what's coming next.